Now we'll take the textile theme forward, and Gaurav Mahajan, president with the Raymond Apparel business, he joins us. Gaurav, good morning and thank you for joining us. Your branded apparel segment has seen a growth in Q3. What is your outlook there, and are there any plans to strengthen it further?
The Raymond Group is very ambitious and aggressive as far as the branded apparel business is concerned. Over the last 2 years, we have outperformed the market in terms of growth, and we see this trend continuing very strongly going forward as well. We are investing heavily behind the apparel business, the branded apparel business. We are looking at our 4-brand portfolio and looking to grow it well beyond the market average.
If you look at brand-wise sales growth, made to measure, it has seen a growth last quarter, while Color Plus saw a degrowth. What are the brands which you're planning to focus more on going forward?
I think all 5 elements of the branded business, which include Raymond, Park Avenue, Color Plus and Parks, are slated for growth. Our strategies as far as at the overall level is concerned is to actually we are looking at a repositioning of these 4 brands, which essentially involves separating the brands and redefining the core positioning of some of these brands to ensure that between the 4-brand portfolio we can address a larger segment of the market. We will also look at each of our brands to address a full wardrobe opportunity, which means that while the brands historically, each of them, and we have a very iconic portfolio of brands, each of these brands enjoy a very strong recognition and recall amongst our consumers, but there is an association with some anchor product categories. We will expand each of these brands to address a full wardrobe opportunity, which means, for example, Raymond, Park Avenue are deeply, strongly rooted in formal occasion wear. We will expand these 2 brands, for example, into casual wear as well, and very aggressively and rapidly so. We will look at a full wardrobe opportunity through expansion into fashion accessories, footwear, and any other relevant categories possible. So all elements of the branded apparel business are deserving of growth. They will get relevant investments, and we will actually look at this entire portfolio for expansion.
You also really, revealed plans to double the fabric business and quadruple the apparel businesses over the next 5 years. What's the update on that, and what is the proposed capex for the same?
I think as far as the apparel part of the business is concerned, we have 3 or 4 very strong levers that we will use for expansion. Firstly, as I said, we are redefining the positioning of the brand to ensure that there is a larger canvas for each of the brands to play on, not only by virtue of repositioning but also by virtue of each of the brands addressing the full wardrobe opportunity. The second thing that we will push very aggressively and strongly on is retail expansion. We have a strong retail footprint, but we believe there is tremendous opportunity to expand on that. And each of our 4 brands with a distinctive positioning will expand, and we will look at all channels for expansion, exclusive brand outlets, multi-brand outlets, and even the lifestyle store channel. And also we're looking very positively and with a lot of interest at the online channel as well.
Okay, so despite showing positive signs, we've only seen a single-digit growth rate in your branded apparel segment. By when do you see the business fully bounce back from the demonetization woes?
Yes, there was an impact of demonetization, and we are already seeing, we as a brand and a business are already beginning to see recovery from demonetization. The growth trends pre-demonetization were very strong. They were definitely double-digit. Demonetization did slow us down in the 3rd quarter. We are seeing a bounce back in Q4, and we actually beginning to see the very early signs in Q1 of this financial year are very positive. So double-digit growth, as I said, is something that we are very confident we'll be able to deliver as far as the branded apparel business is concerned. We definitely are very confident that we will be well ahead of the market as far as growth is concerned.
So what are your plans for retail expansion, and what will be your expansion strategy?
one very critical element of redefining, the positioning of each of the brands is to create a commensurate retail identity. We very strongly believe, and as I said, we are committed to building a very strong capability and presence in digital. But we do believe that there is a lot that can be done as far as the physical retail experience is concerned. We've already created award-winning, path-breaking new retail identity for Raymond, which we are expanding. We will do similar stuff for all the brands. We will invest in creating a distinctive and very engaging retail identity for each of our brands. As far as retail expansion is concerned, we are increasing our footprint, because it's multi-channel. Our footprint is increasing. In the last 2 years, we've expanded at a rate which is much faster than ever. Our retail expansion at this stage is one of the highest in the market. We are looking at, adding from an exclusive brand outlet perspective, adding anywhere between 30 to 40 new outlets in the coming year, which is more than what we did last year.
Recently you've revamped Raymond Next, and now you're launching online tailoring service. Tell us more about it.
I think as I have said earlier, we are committed to building capability and presence on the digital channels. Digital is not just about doing business. Digital is also about reaching out to our consumers. So it's also about digital marketing as much as it is about doing business online. So we've revamped Raymond Next. We're launching an online tailoring service, as you rightly said. We've also enhanced our presence on the platforms, on the online platforms that exist in the market. More importantly, at the back end, we are investing in the capability of creating digital presence. I think that's what's very important right now. It is not so much about how much business you do online. I think for most organizations which come from a brick and mortar legacy, the opportunity lies in creating very strong capabilities to be present online, to be present in the digital space. And online is not just about e-commerce portals. Online is also about social media, reaching out to consumers through the digital medium rather than the physical medium. So we've created what we call a digital customer center. We have a dedicated team which is specifically focusing on building digital capabilities, not just in an incremental manner, but in a breakthrough manner.
Now, many of your competitors have tied up with global brands. Is there any such proposal in pipeline as well?
So, as far as international brands is concerned, we are open to suitable alliances. Our preference at this point in time is to invest in our core brands, our major brands, and build them. We believe that is the priority that we would aim for at this stage, but we are open to looking at possibilities. As far as expansion into international markets is concerned, we already have a presence in international markets by virtue of we are a manufacturer as well and an exporter, so we have knowledge and presence of international markets. We are looking at retail expansion. We have offices that have been set up in the Middle East. We have an office that's set up in London to address the Europe market, and we will be looking at the US market as well. From a retail perspective, Middle East is the immediate opportunity, and we already have some limited presence there. We are looking to expand that as well.
Right. So what is it that we can expect from you in terms of the same-store sales growth for Q4?
We are looking at strong same-store sales growth. We're looking at sustaining the momentum of pre-demonetization. I think we are recovering post-demonetization, and I think our same-store sales growth in Q4 should be what they were before demonetization.
Right. And what's the way forward finally? What is the outlook that you sense, how your demand growth picture is going to be, what level of margins you'll find sustainable for the apparel business for the financial year?
I think we remain positive as far as growth opportunities are concerned. We believe that given the fact that we have a very strong portfolio, which is strongly rooted in the minds of the Indian consumer, plus the fact that we are making several breakthrough changes and progression initiatives inside the organization, we are very confident that we will see growth which will be well ahead of the market. At an overall level, we expect the market to be strong. we did experience some turbulence during the demonetization phase, but we can already see that the market is bouncing back, and we expect it to be strong in the coming financial year. We're already seeing some very good early signs in this financial year.
Well, exports as part of business is doing well. What about your domestic demand?
I think it's not as if the demand is very aggressive, but I think there is a very good growth opportunity for brands and businesses which have their fundamentals in place. For anybody who's focusing on the consumer, who is looking at creating the right kind of retail/digital experience, and those who focus on their supply chain strategies to be in line with their expansion, growth and positioning strategies, there is tremendous growth opportunity. So the bottom line is that if your fundamentals are in place, if your implementation is in line with what your intended strategy is, there is ample growth opportunity in the market.
Gaurav, so good chatting with you today. Thanks much for taking the time out and candidly telling us where the business is really headed for the financial year ahead. Okay, that's the word coming in from the Raymond management. The stock has cooled off from the day's highs, which it started off at. Extremely tempered, as is the case with the rest of the market too. It's flat as flat can be, just at that 9200 mark. Let's take a quick break. Haven't done that in a while. The markets are flat, but we'll discuss some interesting business stories and get your market perspective as well on the other side.